Going for a plan to upload this one to YouTube. So if anybody, but I'll stop the recording after we're done and we could share without having anybody else on there. But for anybody starting to watch me on this future viewing, in the beginning, I basically call on different archangels, different spirit guides to create more of the grid, more of the opening of the space. Then we go into the channel guided meditation aspect of it. There's certain themes that cross over with other meditations that I'll be uploading, or you can send me requests for, and I can give you a Dropbox link. It's part of a larger cosmic shamanism work that I have been developing. So some of the jargon may be a little bit different for some of the first-time viewers. And you can always email me questions about that, and I can go over it more precisely. Some of it is also explained terminology-wise in some of my other lectures that are on YouTube as well. Okay. Check my table. Oh, there. Thank you. Okay. So everybody just got to take a couple deep breaths. Melech Raphael in the east to be with us, beloved Archangel Raphael. Bless our air elements. Welcome our spirit guides and guardian angels to be with us. Welcome Mother, Father, God, one infinite creator. Bless our gathering, temporally, spatially. Let's be surrounded with this blanket of light from the angelic realms. Welcome our power animals and enlightened, loving ancestor relations. And don't forget to breathe throughout this process. That's Raphael's angels to continue to bless us from the east. Benai Elohim angels. Benai Elohim angels. Help us connect to divine mind. Help us remove any obstructions, constructs, and barriers that may have been blocking any of us from communicating more with our divine selves, divine universal mind. Help us remove any unwanted ears, eyes, sensors, scans from any of our gathering this evening. From our inner temple and outer temple, we ask for the angels to give us more privacy, like angelic soundproofing us from any unwanted visitors, scans or projections. Angels help us to uninstall any negative inroads that may have been placed in any of us, in our mental bodies, subconscious, from any negative group, individual, organization, realm, or entity. That's for our highest good to no longer let into our sacred circle, into our sacred house, temple. Scorpio is also about reclaiming our healthy boundaries in all levels, to not let past violations or traumas create any gaps or doorways for any continuation of unwanted presences or violators to trespass anymore. To create a safe space for the return of more of our wealth, our riches. Scorpio, Pluto is also about those hidden riches within us. To create a more sustainable structure in our subconscious to support more of our true wealth, manifestation, health, empowerment, transformation. And they're saying to remove any, funny word, to remove any energetic or literal scoundrels from harvesting or attempting to hack into any of our underworld temples, regions of our psyche, subconscious, that need some cleansing, purging, enhancement of security measures, healthy boundaries, to help us transmute any old contracts, cords that may have led in anyone that we now wish to omit from our lives, timelines. Melech Mikael in the south to be with us, Archangel Michael, Yod-Heh Shinwa fame, beloved Archangel Michael, Shemesh Malachim, Mikael Malachim, to bless our fire element. The angels of Michael, the Malachim, to help upgrade our fire element. Heart chakra fire, passion will center fire, transmutation, sovereignty fire, to help us melt away and dissolve any negative installations, thought forms or constructs that may have been blocking any of your Kundalini flow, or connection to your sanctuary to grow. Angels of Michael that bless and clear our pathways in time and space from any obstructions, that are for highest good to clear, vaporize, dissolve, uninstall. They're saying especially between any local gravity grids in our current locations to help us be able to tune in. Oh, some more people are waiting there. Angels of Michael to continue to help bless our corridors in time, angelic assistance divine, to bless our intervals of our time passageways. So the space in between our intervals of time are also to be protected, made sacred. Like they're saying, it's like the divine stillness, the divine pause in between moments of time that we journey in, experience. Like blessing the in-between, the in-breath and the out-breath. That sacred pause, sacred stillness point. So that we can properly tether like a nodal point in time or nodal point in space to be able to embed more grace into our space. Or like a frog that's leapfrogging from one lily pad to the other, where they represent moments of stillness, temporal equilibrium, so that we gather our bearings in time and space, space and time, to weave a continuity of that divine, like an umbilical cord of love flowing through time. Michael's angels to continue to bless our corridors of time, help us gently align with the rhythm divine, that we can create that continuity of this, our own kind of personal umbilical cord of previous successes, accomplishments. And to bless those in-between moments, in-between spaces, with sanctified stillness, centeredness, so that we can appropriately launch with strategic wisdom and love and guidance our next moments, unfoldments, our next plan, the level of our mission's fruition. Angels of Michael to shine extra light through this full moon in Scorpio. The sword of Michael to help us penetrate the depths of the abyss and the underworld, to help set each of us free from any negativity. Oh, put it back on actually. To help transmute and dissolve any negative vines, ties, or cords. Like Michael's angels with their glowing lightsaber swords. Help us wield our instruments of power more wisely, precisely. To remove any negative, dense, shadowy jungle vines or roots, cords or entanglements that need to be dissolved, vaporized. Like laser light sword energy of Michael's kingdom. Cut us free from any cobwebs, any negative cobwebs in time or space and time. Anything they're saying, it's almost like clearing out what look like these negative cobwebs that we're trying to block the continuation and expansion of our heartbeat of love from shining brightly. It's almost like a heartbeat that was in limbo, the way they're showing it to me. So asking Michael to help us to continue this regeneration process of waking up our divine heart energy, especially they're saying for any of us that are in any kind of cocoon or stasis modes right now because of what's been going on. It looks like an image of some people inside this like cocoon, like think of like a butterfly becoming a caterpillar becoming a butterfly. And they were trying to interrupt that metamorphosis process through limiting that heartbeat or creating a slowed down heartbeat, like almost like a cryogenic suspension. We ask these angels, Michael, to help us to give us this kind of angelic defibrillator to wake up our heart voltage, to clean out any limiting patterns around us that may have been inhibiting that flow of our growth. Instead, they said help us to plug into like veins in our cocoon of our sacred love womb, to help us plug into positive time periods, positive moments in time, positive locations in space. I wish to nurture us in our gestation process to be more complete, for the Scorpio death and rebirth process to be more tailor-made to your individual suiting, completion of your phases of death and rebirth. A stronger immune system, more of your soul's capacity anchored in your body, more protection around our wings. I'm gonna let Gabriel in the west to be with us. Archangel Gabriel. Beloved Archangel Gabriel, to bless our water elements. Yadhi Shin Lafim. Shaddai Achai. Beloved Gabriel. Shaddai Achai, Gabriel. Extra important today because of the full moon energies. Gabriel governs that kingdom. The angels of Gabriel to bless our emotional bodies. Bless our pockets of change. Double meaning there. To assist us in embracing higher positive change in our life. To help us move past any negative stasis or limbo energies that may have been trying to feed off any lower emotional states of previous memories. It's very much like a continuation of clearing out that web we just did with Michael's realm. It's like asking Gabriel's legions to clean us out of any kind of shadow web. Oh, it's like a bat, like a dark bat energy too. To clean us out of any kind of shadow bat, spider web hybrid energies or chimera constructs. Anything that was trying to keep you in a state of fear or inhibition or terror as a desire to feed off you into that web. I'm trying to use people as like battery packs for, harnessing negative emotional loops to our past. So the Scorpio energy especially helps us to get into the deeper levels of that fundamental tenets or belief systems of the matrix and its control structure. So we can help move past that. That we're not to be anyone's friggin' battery source to generate any negative energy for their little loosh festivals. It's the angels of guides, Gabriel's legions with their swords coming in to cut and eviscerate any of those negative critters, webs, bats around us. Quarantine them. Free any part of yourself. It's like Batman. Remember how Batman had to face the bats in the movie to become stronger, facing his worst fear? It's a bit like that metaphor. Help us to transmute and reclaim any part of ourselves that might have gotten a little too attached to that lower memory loop or ego identification of past trauma implementation. Help us to press the pause button on that repeat cycle. Take the needle off that record. Gabriel, Shaddai Elchai, Swords of Gabriel, Cherev Gabriel, Cherev Gabriel, Eye of Levana, Yariach, Ein Yariach, Eye of the Moon, Phoenix Clan, Eagle Clan to come swoop in, Owl Clan and Eagle Clan to come in together to free us from any, to create a clear passageway out of any cave-like realms that any of you might have been stuck in, to help retrieve any parts of yourself that might have been in those realms, domains. A clear ventilation, almost like clearing out the chimney chute, like a volcanic shaft, to help you to retrieve any parts of yourself that might have fallen into that spider realm section of the underworld to be retrieved, to find a clear route of exit, either vertically or coming out horizontally. The angels are coming to clear a pathway to bring some of you out of that cave onto like a beautiful beach. Drink the water from the angelic realm to help you get almost like a smelling sauce to wake some of you up out of the past loops. Like a healing potion, healing love lotion to calm you from any previous negative commotion. Angelic moon defense shield I want to create around us, like a circle of mini moons representing the cycles of the moon. During a lunar month, we might bless each of those iterations, undulations of lunar flow in our own personal calendar and our own personal wheel of time. And we align to that lunar rhythm, divine, and to seal off any negative gateways, passageways, shadow portals that may have been erected, or that may be like a cyclical tick-tock opening for some of you when the moon is in certain phases. Ask your angels help us to bless and reclaim our sovereignty in all the phases of the moon in which we dwell and exist in, experience, encompassed by, mirrored by, internally, externally. The angels of Gabriel wanting to strengthen our spokes of our wheel, going out to our lunar cyclical calendar. Fortify and upgrade our defenses, positive orientations of things we can access during those precise lunar phases, to see it more like a love clock, an Adam Kadmon love clock. Like Adam Kadmon is in the Kabbalistic term, like man is the perfected tree of life. It's kind of like a clock that tunes us to that grounding of our own perfected selves, imbuing in ourselves Maybe it's not sure. Melech Uriel on the north to be with us. Yad He Shin Vav He. Melech Uriel to bless our crown chakra, bless our earth element. I'm jumping ahead. Melech Uriel. You can just receive me.
Yeah.
Melech, oh, they're bringing your roasting. Melech Uriel to bless our earth element. Our fountain of universal oneness to help us in the coming together of our togetherness. I want to bless the pathways of light between us, those who are in the call and the Zoom and those viewing, to create this extension of divine oneness, universal love. They're going to be strengthened by each other's awakening, illumination, integration. To empower others to reconnect, to connect to a greater wholeness within themselves. Greater tapestry of universal oneness can blanket us in the earth. And there's beautiful fountains coming in from the north to upgrade the stones around your fountain, your feng shui fountain, fountain of universal oneness, to irrigate our gardens, to help transmute any desert energies that any of you might have been stuck in any area of your life, help you re-terraform and transform any environments, conditions in your lives that reflect that desert vibration, to help you transmute it. Reminding me that, almost like mentioning that in the Bible, there's a statement that represents this energy of Da'at, or the underworld, which is a Scorpio energy. And in Tree of Life, that Scorpio energy is in the throat chakra, which is interesting because astrologically that's governed by Taurus, the opposite sign. So you have that axis kind of present there. And you have the three pillars, of course, that go up. When you're going up or down, the pillars goes through that area of the underworld to help you achieve illumination, Christic completion. So the verse was, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, thy rod and thy staff shall comfort thee. It's like reminding us that we're coming out of that collective and individual kind of part of the underworld where we need to really reclaim our sword in our right hand, the rod and the staff in the left hand, to find more equilibrium, to exit that part of like the completion of the dark night of the soul, or that expression of it being darkest before the dawn. So we can enter the new kingdom's love lawn, watching the rising sun. Yad He Shin Vav He, Melech and Dolphin beneath us. Melech and Dolphin. Melech and Dolphin to bless our inner earth connections, divine love connections. Helios, Belios, Ra. Interesting, Belios was a Celtic god of fire. It also relates to a higher planet that one of the groups came from in the ancient days. But those are three fire energies: Helios, Belios, and Ra. But I'm hearing them coming in together. Helios. Well, Belios also makes sense because we're that's right, because we're in the week of Beltane, right? The goddess Bridget, like the Maypole holiday, the return of the sacred fire, spring, like the midpoint between the equinox and the solstice. Help us bring in that triple fire: Helios, Belios, Ra. Helios, Belios, Ra. Tehuti, Ka, energy of Thoth, also wants to come in. His name was Tehuti. Helios, Belios, Ra. Tehuti, Ka. Helios, Belios, Ra. Tehuti Ka, Sekhmet Ra, coming in to create more of an egg of light around us, the holy mother fire of Sekhmet, the lion mother, to complement all that masculine fire. Helios Belios Ra, Tehuti Ka, Sekhmet Ra. Sekhmet energy is coming with like a beautiful, like passion pink, purple egg of light. You're like a protective hearth with that triple fire energy to help reinvigorate each of us in each of the three worlds. May love, light, fires swirl to chelate our passageways, help restore our paths of connection to divine love connections, ancestors, relations, opportunities, star families. Alex and Dolphin to bless our inner earth connections. Help us connect to that inner highway of love. Sacred Heart, Mary, Dove. Like as a messenger of Gaia's will. She's coming up, this beautiful like dove messenger that's glowing like a phoenix dove. Clearing out the passageways for us to connect from below. Clear heartfelt flow of Mother Earth's emancipated energies. Freedom, love, and glory. Freedom, love, and glory. Help us rewrite our story. So like three fountains coming up through, anchor into our three pillars of our tree of life. So it's like spinning halo fire rings, like lava melting up from below. Crystal lenses forming. So we can tune into that fountain of Gaia's liquid light. Torches of her united, loving, existential self. Mother Earth wants to come up into your feet, into each of your three pillars. So if you're like a tree sipping this new liquid light from the earth that wants to help us replenish, heal, and it's almost like, think of like a blacksmith, like Vulcan, Hephaestus, blacksmith of the gods, might help us resculpt ourselves, or this like glass blowing welder energy. Mother Earth, liquid fiery light coming up, and it's spiraling up through our legs, through our middle pillar of our spine to help us resculpt. It's like this caduceus or corkscrew energy that's helping us to balance out the contours of our inner spin field, like smoothing out like the curvatures of our inner spine, curvatures of our inner wave guides, so we can communicate more clearly with our guides. So we can hold more of a universal love spin in our space. This is some of you were like teetering, towering, leaning Tower of Pisas. When the vortex was coming up, you started tilting too much, and it was hard to regain your centeredness. So it's like three spirals coming up to help you to re-navigate proper proportion of your spin so that you're not leaning too much to one side or the other. Help give you more of a healthy spiral posturing. So you can be more anchored, not only in a vertical energy moving up and down, but in the spinning waves of momentum that curl and furl at the crashing waves in your shoreline, bringing you gifts where love persists. Fractal love eddies, spirals that go into all different parts of our field. Cleaning out all the little nooks and crannies of your geometric curvature of your field. It can be like that wizardress like Sufi spinning dancer, to reclaim the power of your majestic, sovereign, universal spin field self. The universal, sovereign spin field self that wants to come in. Help you spin in proper alignment with the incoming vortices of love and light. Seek to help fill us and emancipate us upon this night from any fright or plight, to clear and heal our sights. Calling it a Universal Love Spin Alliance. We're welcoming in a Universal Love Spin Alliance. To help us breathe in more passion, more potency into our spiral, so that we can feel this corkscrewing of light in the 3 pillars of our body, being filled with more equilibrium of each color of the rainbow, so that each chakra has a participation in your liberation. The mind can't overly control, or the third eye. It's like having a balance of the passion, will, wisdom, love, healthy balance of attachment and detachment. Like a healthy observer. It's almost like a healthy balance, finding a new balance between our subjective self and our objective selves, so that we're not caught overly in one or the other, where we become too detached and too like fragmented, because we're stepping over it instead of through it. Same time, not being so caught in the subjective time or subjective experience that we're overwhelmed by it. That it's kind of like not getting caught up in a particular verse in the script of your book of life, book of time, so that your fingers don't keep rewinding and highlighting past passages in your chapter of your book of time, when you're supposed to be progressing and you're reading forward. Sometimes you get pulled back with some kind of like trigger in a verse area that pulls you back to 3 chapters behind where you had that trauma, and then you keep having to regain that same territory that you should have just been on already. You don't have to keep reinventing the wheel. It's like about to reach destination 80%, and you're thrown back to the 20% point. It's like, no, this is bullshit. We're gonna be able to override that reversal of our progression and maintain a continuity of clear love, divine might, protected direction. That we're not to be like rats in anyone's, we're not to be like mice in any scientist experiment where they keep trying to move us back in the beginning part of the maze, and we're about to get out of it to claim our prize. We love surprise, want to raise ourselves out of any technological constraints, of any negative experimentation, social engineering, online manipulations that want to override any of these conditions, experimentation constructs that any of you might have been put in energetically or in the background field, might have been running. That we choose to opt out of any of these negative lower data analytics, quantum computer simulations, manipulations. We're here to choose our own love stations. That we can break out of any of these computer systems attempt to use algorithms to monitor or predictive programming to manipulate us or the masses. We choose to act more Uranianly, more positive, lightning bolt chaos magic, in a way to break out of any of that false order that they try to put us in, to corralling our energies or triggering us through fear or false motivations, stagnations. The love revolution, through our choice of claiming our evolution, free of their pollution, and healing any convolution. That was the word I was looking for before. When the fire is coming up, and it's almost like resculpting the curvatures of our field, so that any parts of your ego identity that was getting amplified due to a negative contortion or convolution or negative confirmation in your field. It's like balancing out the proper proportions. It's like almost like visualizing how your perfected body on all different levels is supposed to look for your highest good, so you can embody more of your soul song, to make you feel more and be more strong. To help ignite and melt any ice around your lower chakras so you can tune into your own passion play, to feel that passion in your body. Not something that is, for some of you, it feels like it kind of got frigid when you're trying to apply that passion to your life or to your higher connections, or it might have got a little bit too, for others, it felt like it got a little too caught in a fear, anxiety, push-pull when you were trying to access your sacral or solar plexus power. So angels help us to heal some of those energies there, so that if you're overly frigid there, to help melt some of the ice so you can apply that dipping of your light sword in your own passion pool, wellspring, purified power, energy, relationships, sexual energy. It's like dipping the tip of your sword, and that's like almost like a fountain pen, dipping it in the ink, or like a painter's brush, so you can paint your new vision, free of any old division. To not be anyone's pawn in any of their games. To be free of their stains. So calling our bigger selves, lift any part of ourselves out of any game boards, out of any chess play stages, landscapes that you might have been in. So we can come into this space of clearer universal love embrace, universal love spin. And help us melt any ice around our solar plexus, Dantian. Send some healing, cocoony like light to any parts of yourself that might have been stuck in that ice, any parts of yourself that you might have made frozen because you didn't want to maybe deal with the pain at the time, wasn't ready to deal with it, to create more of a healing energy around it, so that in your previous desire just to kind of freeze that moment, you don't want to freeze your progression now because of that choice to freeze part of your feeling because maybe you weren't ready to deal with that trauma or pain or realization. And so that's like you can create a finer tuned structure, saying you don't need to put a boulder in front of your river that you're trying to have a watermill turn and receive energy from, just because there was something negative that was on that part of the river. But you can quarantine that part there, just get rid of the boulder, bring it to the side and let the energy flow. But help the angels help you to kind of digest and absorb and bring more healing and nurturing to that part of yourself that you're asking the angels to surround in a more of a healing, healthy viewing structure space that doesn't have to put the rest of your life on pause because you have that incident that happened. To reclaim your power over yourself, to not let any part of your previous violated, stagnant self dictate all your friggin' feelings and choices now. But it's like, do you want any one part of yourself to continue being a tyrant over the rest of you? Even though it's a wounded tyrant, it's still a tyrant in that sense of the word. It's like letting a stubborn, hurt child like dictate the parent and the rest of the family's actions for the rest of their life because that child got wounded. You know, it's like, that's equally invalid. Like, yeah, the wounding sucked and it shouldn't have been hurt, but you know, you don't want to perpetuate that cycle on the other end of the spectrum. It's giving you a chance to really be an adult again in yourself and catch up to your own maturity process. It's like they said, a lot of you like fine wine, but some of you kind of inhibited parts of your chemical processes. So a bit of vinegar mixed with your wine. So you want to kind of help create that healthy circulation to free you from any emotional stagnation, to welcome that part of yourself that was in separation back into this larger room of the mirror, which is like a room of mirrors mirroring the bigger parts of you, galactic parts of you, whole part of you, to be able to hold that mini version of you in that bubble of time and space, to give it whatever it needs and requires, so that it can no longer be like a tumor in your body, so to speak, those self-looped moments in time that refuse to connect to the rest of your story, that kind of got caught in that abandonment loop or that cycle of aggression, repression, victimization, to help her and him receive the light and the healing lotuses of these bird energies are coming in. Big higher galactic bird tribes to help welcome that part of yourself like a little wounded birdie back into the nest so he or she can find loving rest with the rest of your light family that wants to help remind you of how beautiful you are, how accepted you are, how appreciated you are, how loved you are. Just because you went into a little tailspin and kind of fell down when you were trying to fly as a baby birdie doesn't mean you should stop flapping your wings again out of fear that you're going to fall or bang into something pointy. It's like catching up with your own evolution, where you can rise above the stagnation of any pollution, convolution. You can be the master to edit your own storyline, timeline, to cleanse it free of any negative trickster or shadow clown energies I'm seeing coming into. As the angels help us to rewrite our storylines to be free of any negative joker or any dark clown energies, terrestrial, metaterrestrial. Help us heal ourselves from any negative fool cards or reverse fool cards, archetypes, beings that may have tried to put some dark trickster energy in your book of time to try to make you negatively rewind or bind to help you unsynchronize with any of those storylines, to free any parts of yourself, like almost reminds of like in those like a museum, or if someone's collecting like those like a book that has like flowers, like dried flowers behind pages like of glass that protects them, or like butterflies that were dried up, or stuff like that, where it's like insects that were like dead but they're still keeping it there, like to view like an entomologist. It's like any parts of yourself that were stuck in those pages and kind of stuck behind any kind of vines or manipulative lies. Help lift yourself out of any of those pages, of any shadow tricksters, gestures of the ages to be neutralized, transmuted. You don't have to be in any dark ring circus. You don't need to be at the receiving end of any dark tricksters' tales, spells. Rise out of that book. Swap places, put them back, put those tricksters in that book so they can be bound in their own karmic wellspring and removed from our life. Onto a portal of infinity's wellspring. You can carry them where they need to go. Trapped in their own timeless saga. There's a karmic mirroring for them, divine justice. Swap places with any of those tricksters, so to speak. Any spaces that they were occupying that you were supposed to occupy, temporally, spatially, opportunity-wise, wheel of time-wise. We ask some angels help us to reverse that process, like quantum entanglement, reverse it, and then decouple us, de-entangle us from any of those negative partner dances, anyone negative in our life, or any of these negative trickster influences or shadow gestures. Melech Metatron above us, Yadhi Shinwa fame. Melech Metatron, bless our crown chakras, galactic center connections. Help us connect to this beautiful axis that connects to divine universal oneness. It's a continuation of what we started with earlier, that axis of universal love spin, so we can come into a greater alignment with a greater spin field, a greater axis of rotation, filled with universal love gestation, vibration. Almost reminds me like those old school barber shops with the spinning sign in front with the with the spiral moves down the cylinder. So angels to bless our cylinders of light, omnidimensional light. Shine triumphantly through this night, full moon night. Shush! Seeing this glowing phoenix shining on the moon. Almost reminds me of like the Batman movie when they're shining the spotlight to call Batman, but it's like a phoenix spotlight from the moon. pink, red, white, purple light. Giant phoenix. That's like 80% of the size of the moon. Diameter of the moon. The shining spotlight, this universal solar spotlight coming down through lunar phoenix energy, so that giant phoenix energy can ricochet like a laser, that intense universal sun ray, laser beam energy. That giant spotlight of that eagle phoenix gazing from the moon across the earth, like carving out these beautiful lines of divine fire, purification, freedom vibration to help lift the children of Gaia from their stagnation, freeing us from any lower vines, roots, cords, seeing us melting through, help us with wisdom guide the pointing of that laser beam, universal sun spotlight. It's making circles within circles, shining through not just space around the earth, but through time, shining through our time corridor, like rings behind rings behind rings, like inside these mirrored corridors, to help us reclaim our circles of victory, healing, longevity. Through the mirrored wheel of time that spins. As the wheel of time spins vertically, it carves out that section through the corridor of time, like a tunnel that expands with that spinning wheel. We're kind of retroactively shining light. Universal love spin field. Strengthen our vortex to protect us from any negative spin fields. Help us override any negative vortex weapon systems, projection systems, anything that was trying to project out to people from any negative military bases, shadow facilities that were trying to get people's spin lined up in a certain way so that their main broadcaster of their vortex weapon system was trying to get people to be pulled into almost like a tractor beam energetically, so that everybody's like lining up and reinforcing that negative spin field instead of the positive one. In other words, trying to use people as pixelations of negative choice options that they could then impose on the movie screen of the masses future, like a canvas or a movie screen, where they want to project their false narrative, and using people's spin fields that have agreed to buy into their false consensus reality ends up being almost like a bunch of magnets that are all spinning in the same direction. So it strengthens their field, and it strengthens the pixelation of that station's emanations. So then people think that movie broadcast is what reality is, when it's just a stupid shadow broadcast, that people were adding their energy to and making it seem more authentic than it really was. So asking to help us to opt out of any of these negative torsion wave weapon systems, any negative torsion ion cylinder systems. We choose our own magnetic love spin to be positive light love broadcasters, to affirm Gaia's new divine love station reality show, Aquarian love show, where we're together forming a consolidation, positive star heart nation, a solidarity of love and light. We come together upon this night to lay down the law of our Scorpio judging might, like positive judicial energies of banging the gavel of each of us as council members sent from higher realms to pass the verdicts of change, to free us in humanity from their chains, to bind those perpetrators back, to bind them, confine them to the pains that they've tried to stain us with, that they might be dimensionally diminished out of our lives, out of Gaia's timeline, to put them in a spin field that spin them away, like a spinning gyroscope away from us, out to a horizon where they become tinier and smaller, dimensionally collapsed in and irrelevant in our lives and Gaia's lives. Like almost like the way they revise history, they're saying we need to kind of like erase their their imprints from our timeline, make them seem irrelevant, unimportant, which they can't stand because they're so friggin' egotistical. So it's like spinning it back, saying, "Oh no, we don't even remember you. You're so irrelevant, unimportant for your violation. You're like a pathetic dot that we just blow out like a mosquito." We banish you so easily and gracefully and funly out of our timeline, out of our horizon. Diminish those court gestures, tactics where they keep trying to get attention to distract the real actors of sacred acts that are trying to create the new storyline for the new wheel of time to help us align to that age of Aquarius, to kick out those false imposters from our stages of life, individually, collectively. Carry them out of any of our sacred halls, inner temples. Oh, there's a nice little section there. Oh, we have to kick some ass once in a while, right? Remind people what their freedoms are about. The root of that freedom starts with our own choice to claim that sovereignty over the conditions of our life and what impacts us and what doesn't impact us. And we don't want to impact us, instead of giving our free will power away towards some external source that tells us, what our immunity is about, what our boundaries should or shouldn't be about, or what our limitations are. There's a bunch of crap. The universal co-creators of divine love, to free us from any of these lower societal conditioning traps that are just trying to lower people's willpower, to give their power away literally to false peer pressure, especially during this corona situation. False peer pressure that's manipulated from the puppeteer stages that are just embodying the fear and panic of the ages that they're trying to recycle as a distraction to the great awakening that's happening behind this false Wizard of Oz puppets stage screen. There's an immense reality that's forming, but they're trying to keep people's attention, like the false magician following the wand towards everywhere else but where the actual solution is. And so enough of these distractors or shadow retractors. It's literally like funny images, like literally like, as if they're trying to keep the public, like people in a movie theater with bouncers, and anybody that's not looking at the screen, they like try to like punish you if you're not buying into that image in the screen that they're projecting. Like that's the only reality that's relevant or real or important. It's like F you, no way. It's like being united, love, love like Uranian revolutionaries, that embody that lightning bolt of awakening to snap people up out of their miasms, to help wake them up out of this scattered focus where they're kind of feel like they're caught between this, like a rock and a hard place, or one negative option, another. Like, no, break out of that corralling of your vision. That's like that when they try to put those, what do you call it on horses? Like the blinders on horses to keep that kind of tunnel vision going. It's like needing to shake free of any of this kind of energetic, negative, static energy coming from any of these dark computer systems, weapon systems, any dark intelligence agencies, devices. So we're here to choose our own reality, free of any lower story scripts that are trying to define our trips. And it's like, no, we have a GPS, we can go across the country, many different routes. We're not limited to one particular route that has to go through really negative neighborhoods. It's like they keep trying to create these, temporal negative surprises in our road through time that just deal with these negative explosive scenarios like dark surprises. And it's like, no, we're not trapped on some dark friggin' wheel of misfortune here. Why not get out of this sick, shadowy game of these dark tricksters and negative realities, parallel Earths? Be like, no, we're here to redefine our script. We're here to reunite humanity's love trip to the new dawn, into this new sacred love lawn, crystal love spawn rising from the ground. Beautiful crystal jeweled love children, fairies, elementals coming around us to create this beautiful spiraling, double spiraling tower of light to connect us like a Jack and the Beanstalk to infinity's light. Crystalline tower of love and light. Help set us free upon this night from the adversity or plight. Keep breathing. So polishing and pixelating this beautiful crystal tower, your star heart watchtower, like a totem pole of perfection, connects you to your starry relations. Each floor like a different starry lifetime, different galactic positive ET group that you're affiliated with. And stabilizing the foundation light cube of it as well, like the foundation floor. And a reflection of it in the pool of light below us. Start Guardians of Gaia, Shekinah, Pachamama Shekinah. Star Meridian Guardians, Star Meridian Archway Guardians, like Artemis, Diana, arrow energies, like Sagittarius, Artemis, Diana archers with these like Sekhmet, lion, fire lit arrows that when they're pointing in each direction in our sacred wheel of time, zodiac wheel of different colored background landscapes behind our zodiac wheel. Some like beautiful urban scenes, magical forests, caves, volcanoes, different landscapes behind it that kind of mirror the energy of that sign. The arrows Artemis, Diana, Athena, Shekinah, pointing like intense, precise precision to shoot their multiple flaming arrows out to each direction of our zodiac wheel. Paths of time, the zodiac of the divine, so create a spiral that goes out, expanding spiral through our whole wheel of time, through our zodiac wheel, astrological wheel, feng shui wheel, spinning lasso of fiery crystal light, purple, white, ruby, Andromedan light. Priestess is coming in to help us like create, almost reminds like the Wonder Woman lasso, this intense fire and spiky crystals to help us reclaim love energy in our forest of time and our expanding cyclical wheel of time. So spinning it all the way out to horizon, then they smash like as if you're lifting up like a fishing rod and using it to toss anything out that was hiding in those points in our forest, parts of our wheel of time, cyclically. To create more of a cleansing, rededicating our sacred magical zodiac, magical forest, wheel of time, landscape to be full of more loving, magically embedded space, full of love and grace. To cast out all these unholy characters from our spaces, extensions of our planetary spaces. Want to have it's like clearing out the paths of your own castle, of your own inner king or queen, so that you can connect to the beautiful cities, all the beautiful kingdoms that want to help you share a new narrative with you, connection with you. Strengthening our rightful rainbow wheel of relations, connections, loving elations. We might reclaim our rightful choice of stepping into these new iterations, time sequence, love, reverberations. Seeing that beautiful spiral crystal energy being filled up with different color, different elements coming into it. Like, so it's like the oceanic, the waters of time, fires of our love vision, divine moving through that watery realm like plasma, bubbles. Cleaning our records of time within our elemental fields. So we can nourish our seeds of our own inner garden, inner forest with beautiful, love-infused, healthy blend of elements.
That's fine.
Okay. As Artemis Dinah priestesses, they're creating these beautiful well springs that pop out like love vortexes of crystal energies that can also help close in on anything negative around you, anyone negative in your life that needs to be karmically bound or taken away from your life, removed from your stage of time, stage of space. Divine Artemis, Athena, Angelic priestesses, they put these beautiful crystal flower patterns of light coming out of the ground to wrap around them, like police arresting, someone that's out of control, needs to be arrested, detaining those individuals so that they can be wrapped up in this light. Divine justice, divine might, and then it moves like almost like a conveyor belt, and then it shoots them out of your reality, like a catapult, ejecting them out of your wheel of time, guardian divine. And it's applied to past, previous, present, and near future individuals that we need to waste our time, get out of our life, get out of our line, claim our rightful prize, our rightful gifts in life. Put out all these unwanted hands trying to grab what is your rightful bounty to claim. You from any unwanted swaps, where some people try to swap their malice and their karma for your good stuff. Try to use your compassion against yourself to take on their shit. So you want to reject that false props or false value system structures. Or someone trying to give you a false diamond so you pay the money and they think you have a good deal. It's like to have appraisal of true authentic value so that you don't get tricked by anything in your life, situation, plight. Protect all our soul gifts, energies, things of authentic value that are meant to help you flower in your power. And that Scorpio depths, Gaia's hidden earth steps, showing all these beautiful priestesses, guides, angels, and different kingdoms, shining more energy into the base of these beautiful rings of light that are deep inside the earth, shining upward. It's like the foundation of your Christmas tree. They're saying foundation of your tree of life, this hidden root circuitry, these rings of light that are spinning, creating almost like a dome that the tree of life is anchored into. Orbital well springs. Priestesses, Beltane priestesses walking around it, the way they walk around the pole to put the new vines, the new DNA strands. And the priestesses helping us use the vines to help us also to bind anything negative, situation, thought form, entity, person that needs to be bound and again taken out of our life. Divine justice for the highest good. And help us also find positive opportunity moments so that we can put those cups or flowers of energy around those, almost like highlighting positive opportunities that you may miss if you didn't have that highlight there. Angels, guides, priestesses help us to highlight those positive opportunity nexus points in our life so we can draw them to us in a timely, loving, easy manner, protected manner, and plant them and claim that worthy, wealthy harvest of the Scorpio rebirth energy, finding the hidden treasures, creating a clear protective space for others to go into that crystal quarry and find their rightful diamonds and treasures. So thirsty. Oh my God. Angels adding those Andromeda priestesses, angels adding extra rings that are mirroring the tree of life rings deep in the earth and underworld, Scorpio realm, mirroring above us in upper world. So it's like a curved dome above us, all these concentric spinning rings of light, pink, purple, white, crystal rings above and below, help stabilizing our central flow. Universal love spin rings help us stay stable, strong, centered in our reclamation of our rightful things. Feel that liberation energy of all different parts of yourself. The priestesses in the beginning, Diana, Artemis, angels, Gabriel, we're helping lift off parts of yourself. See different parts of yourself coming out of the ground, different parts of the landscape around you, popping out through those domains into a common space. More liberation energy. Like a welcoming party of you meeting other parts of you. The circle of sacred love greeters. Protecting us from those negative bleeders. And the sanctity of our insulation of our energies remains intact, protected from any siphoning or attack. Healthy reinstitution of your own family's love and light constitution, of you meeting the you, the I and the we, completed in the togetherness. Inviting this universal energy of the Godhead, the one infinite creator's light, like a universal sun spotlight coming down over us to help you heal and repartition the parts of yourself, a healthy delineation, balance, healthy coming together of your own wheel of time and your family and your kinship, camaraderie, under this blanketing of universal love, coming from the heart of the one infinite creator, the spotlight of oneness. The center of your wheel of time, radiating with that energy, then opens up with the assistance of these Merlin wizards, positive wizard guardians coming in, Raziel, angels, Neptune, Rahav, that help to disseminate that energy from that axis of unity, coming in like a piston or like a rotor in the middle of your wheel of time. Help open up the energy, like flaps opening up in that cylinder, and then go out into the spokes of your wheel, into the hub of your wheel, where the different parts of you are there to hold space, mirror each other's embrace, gratitude, reconciliation, new affiliation. Let that unified love energy in the center of that wheel help you to put together parts of yourself, to remember your own wholeness, true love constitution, and rightful restitution to come to you. A magnetic attractor to your wheel of time. Angels, guardians, priestesses bringing back the treasures that are supposed to come to you, retrieving it, helping you to accrete it, accrue it, spin in alignment with those new opportunities, become returning energies, transmute it. Almost there. Rashu, Grandfather Lion, Rashu, Sekhmet Shu, Lion Mother, Lion Clan, moving circles around us, Lion, Eagle, Phoenix clans, helping us consolidate these circles within circles of loving relations, consolidations into the trunk of your tree of life. Let each of you reclaim the bounty of this love forest, and different messengers in the magical forest are coming to give you gifts and putting it on the points of your zodiac wheel that's around us in a circle. Different qualities of the gifts of the magical forest creatures, spirits, allies, elementals that want to help create this beautiful medicine wheel of sacred forest energies for you, making a crown of beautiful twigs and leaves, different magic wands and different tree branches, Celtic light energies, fairy energies, creating a beautiful decoration of your dome of light and the reflection of it shining clearly through the night. Falcon Clan, Horus Clan, different bird guardians putting up pillars of light, certain trees that are like sentinel towers in the forest, each of our personal kingdoms to add extra protection, sonic protection, light protection. sound and light together, and fire. Strengthen our inner kingdom and outer kingdom's defenses. Love light. Structures to balance our fortress of power, fortress of love.
Yes.
Make sure you feel some of this energy coming in to fill up the space that other assholes were interfering with. Don't let the distraction block you from the new addition. Plug into the new energy so helps you push them out further with more support. Plugging into those well springs of new energy, so we know we have a whole universe of support behind us, beneath us, around us. Remember that we're extensions of that water hose of love from the Creator's source realms, and we can toss those energies that we don't want to receive anymore, the negative ones, into that center of the wheel, so the Creator of all that is can handle the weight and burden for us, that we can return to the proper position in our wheel of time and hand over the weights and challenges to that universal fire, divine light, divine Creator oneness, to help heal us, free us from our plight, so we can return more playful upon this night, celebratory with delight. See those you don't want, any negative situations, being bound with these rings, and push them into the center of that blazing cylinder of universal light, so that they're taken from our sight. The Creator of all that is, bring them to where they need to go for their highest good, away from us, to heal us from any negative encroachment by any of those individuals, groups, technologies, to help us to decouple any of our rings from their rings, decouple any intersecting vesicapitious rings from us to them, decouple, repolarize, repel, heal us from any old spell, dip your body into that new wellspring so you can drink up that new liquid light, to soften your lotus of your flowers of your heart. Sacred West well segment energy guarding our well springs, adding extra layers of light to the wellspring beneath each of us, so that the wellspring has a universal lotus that can then shine back up to us, that light of oneness, beautiful light flowers coming through that sprinkler system, through that, like the spout of a whale, the geyser coming up through the wellspring, and it arcs all around you to each direction of your life, to help irrigate, cleanse us. Universal love seeds of Gaia. Help stabilize the wood element and the seeds. Protect us from any thieves. New sacred love leaves. Get a protective privacy space around us to distort the enemy's visions. Holographic love and light surround and protect us on this night. Sacred bird clan, a beautiful bird eye, sacred phoenix, hawk, heru, eye around us to protect our vision, free of division. This guardian bird energy may help each of you find your path, create a clear space in each direction, and carry you to that successful conclusion of your destinations. The return of the revival of love's installation, almost like the heart of the lotus going out to the hub of the wheel and then back to the center of the wheel, like almost like you're making these infinity symbols that go out from the heart of your wheel out to the hub, the sun out to the planets in your zodiac wheel. to get a healthy return on your investment. Healthy solar flower wheel. The star heart crystal in the middle of that flower wheel. They begin to shine, more of that sunshine. Elohim, Aralim, Seraphim, to guard those positions of time from the center out to the rim of the wheel and back again. Mary Isis, Athena Ra, Mary Isis, Athena Ra, bringing some other like dew drops of crystal light around us. Help us soften the petals with more grace, innocence, clear awareness, space. Living lotus drops from the fountain of eternity, the divine new maternity. Help create a clear space for each of you to give birth to more things in your life. Free of strife, full of new life. Seraphim, Aralim, Ophanim. Star Heart Station Guardians, putting other sacred Ben stones, almost like them. As the Ben stone in Egyptian mythology was like the cornerstone that the phoenix rose from, this first sunrise rose from, like the phoenix egg, and cackled the sounds of creation. So it's like a symbol of a foundation, like a seed that has the template for the whole tree within it. Sacred Ben stones of each sign of the zodiac, our wheel of Aquarius, wheel of love, almost look like anvil-like metal crystal structures. Help us anchor this energy of what we got grounded, gathered, stabilizing our centeredness in this new axis of love so we don't just spin around, tail spinning, being able to hold that new vibration, love-filled, each love-filled iteration, subsequent iteration may be filled with that light, love, consistency of support. They come together from above and below, express itself in between, to chelate and create that even space, more graceful traversing through time and space. And we're coming out from that group love wheel, popping out, riding up these pillars of light on the center in that universal love bubble, out through the windows in that universal love bubble that lead through corridors back to each of your locations. Sacred Heart, Merlin, Mage stations. Help us consolidate this new seed of love, this alchemical jewel. He's saying that we've grounded in the heart of Scorpio. Let's welcome the energy of the Scorpion goddess energy, Serket of Egypt, Serket, Isis, Serket, just to stand safeguarding this new wellspring, this new anchor seed, like placing the seed deeper with the clear path of light and love means the tree grows taller, roots are deeper. They're placing the seed of love in the heart of the underworld so that our phoenix tree can grow triumphantly. Universal love seed that we've grounded, universal sun love seed. I have Merlin, Raziel, Ophanim angels, protect that energy space. Installation of the new wiring, underworld to support more upper worlds, middle world, love, light, gravity world. Setting that energy of place. The universal bird guardians protecting that wheel of time around us, and the clear entrance to our tower. Universal heart of power. Love, flowers. Center. Give thanks to all these beautiful beings in a circle of these bird guardians facing out from the tower, from the entrance's base. To shine to us that support and healing we require. To elevate our foundation flower. As within, so without. So above, so below, so in a beautiful diamond flow around our tower of power with that expanded ring in the equator. Our medicine wheel that has more light around it, within it. That central axis Stabilizing it as we give thanks to all these beautiful beings, angels, guides, hosts, planetary folks, power animals, guides, animals spiraling above and below, swimming, flying in synchrony to create this grounded protection, love erection. We continue to surround each direction. Release these beings, we ask that they seal what needs to be sealed. Release these angels, guides, hosts, planetary allies, spirit folks, elementals, appropriate stations, love web relations, domains, realms, ask that they seal what needs to be sealed, adjust the flow, what needs to be adjusted, levies, valves, conditions, stabilize love emissions. Fairies giving you to your beautiful flower, orange, yellow, fuchsia light, light, Andromeda love flowers. You need to strengthen and grow around our towers and around the Earth's towers. Strengthen our network of love and light. Continue to flourish through the night. Universal sunlight. Somebody be awesome. We give thanks to these angels, guides, hosts who choose to stay to help us ground the energy in our homes, workplace, healing time, dream time. Solidity of our chosen station time. Our station remains present and clear so that we're not just triggered and have the station rotate to some other dark reality. Help us maintain our clear station. Gestation, fixturing event. Time, maturation time, creative time. Protection, clear access to our new bounty time. Grace ascension time. So what would it be Mitakoyasin, Wankin Tonkin, selling all the kingdoms around us, ocean realms, dolphins, universal love portal shining around the earth. Scorpio love earth, the mountain of the wizard guardians, Merlin Ra, Raziel Ka, guardians of Shambhala, shine their light to us. Kuan Yin, Kuan Yin. They shine flowering grace over us. Into our heart of our networked love space. So Samodhi Mitakoyasin, breathe in. Feel the anchoring like a spiral. Cupping that love seed. And that seed opens and sprouts, sending us new light. Nice to cup to heal us of any drought. That new oasis we've created. So Samodhi Mitakoyasin, breathe in, clap our hands 3 times. We're going to do a group Om together. I'm going to unmute people for that. So let's do a group Om energy. Hold on. 3, 2, 1. Our group flowering love seed. We'll do a Ram for the 3rd chakra. Universal love flower children. Universal love flower children. As the new flowers are coming in from above and below, spun from both above and below, the new expanded relationship from below and above, exploring that new universal love flower, helping us to connect to our new tower. And we'll do a Yam for the heart chakra. Yam. 3, 2, 1. Yam. Clap our hands one more time and pat your body. I'm going to talk about Thanks. Sacred Star Heart Birds, protecting our power and house. All right, I'm going to stop the recording. We can share.